Roman Reigns may be left completely alone in WWE if he is not careful. The star was left wondering what he could do after Jey Uso sent him a warning tonight. Uso said that he had asked Reigns to just hear Sami Zayn out, and he had not. Reigns was rough and told him to get out of his face, as he was still fuming after Sami Zayn demanded that Reigns apologize to Jey for his past actions. Jey Uso was simply not going to take Roman Reigns ordering him about or talking to him badly any longer. He said that this was his last warning, and after this, Reigns would be alone going forward, and Jey would be stepping away. He had made clear that his one rule for working with Reigns was that he would not be treated as an underling, and the original tribal chief broke that rule. "I told you, though. You talk to me like that. Uso, I'm out. That's your one pass. Uso." When Reigns turned to Jimmy Uso, he found that Jimmy didn't approve of him either and let him know it. Reigns is now alone if he cannot gather back the rest of the original bloodline to him. To do so, he will have to listen to Sami Zayn's one demand. So what happens next remains to be seen. With a tribal acknowledgement ceremony scheduled for the show, it's likely there will be further developments for Roman Reigns before the night is over. It was a tense Friday night on WWE SmackDown, and the tension between Jey Uso and Roman Reigns had been simmering for weeks. The last time they faced off in the ring, things took an unexpected turn. Roman, as the self-proclaimed tribal chief, had given Jey an ultimatum that bordered on betrayal: stay loyal to the bloodline or prepare to be ousted. But tonight, it wasn't going to be Roman doing the talking. Jey had something to say. The lights dimmed, and the crowd roared as Jey Uso's music hit. He entered the ring with a fierce look, one that said he wasn't there to play games. The chants from the fans filled the arena, echoing his name. Jey grabbed a microphone, his jaw clenched and eyes blazing, his voice heavy with emotion. "Roman," he shouted, pacing back and forth in the ring. "You and me, we've been through everything together. Family is family, right? But there comes a point when even family has to call out what's wrong." The arena buzzed with anticipation as Jey laid down his challenge. Roman, who was watching from the backstage area on a screen, had a smirk that masked an underlying irritation. He knew this confrontation had been a long time coming. Moments later, Paul Heyman, the ever-loyal advocate, appeared at Roman's side, whispering something into his ear, attempting to cool down the increasingly upset tribal chief. Jey wasn't just there to talk about old wounds. This time, he was calling out Roman for breaking one of the unspoken rules of the bloodline: respect. Jey had always honored the code, even when it pained him, but he felt Roman had crossed a line too far. He lifted the microphone again, his voice shaking slightly as he began speaking directly to the camera. "You think being the tribal chief means you get to do whatever you want, disrespect whoever you want." Jey spat. "But you don't get it, Roman. The respect that comes with being a leader isn't something you demand, it's something you earn." This cut deep, and the crowd reacted with a mix of cheers and gasps, sensing the gravity of Jey's words. Roman's face hardened as he continued to watch from the monitor backstage, his grip tightening around the Universal Championship title he wore over his shoulder. He didn't like being questioned, especially not by family, and especially not by Jey. But Jey wasn't finished. He took a step closer to the ropes, his tone growing even more serious. "Roman, tonight, I'm giving you a choice. Show the respect you promised all of us, or don't be surprised when the bloodline walks out. You think I'm scared to go out on my own? You think I'm scared of what happens if I stand up to you?" The crowd was fully behind Jey, their support building with each word he spoke. He wasn't just calling out Roman. He was offering him a warning, the last one he would ever give. Roman had heard enough. With a swift nod to Heyman, he pushed past him and made his way toward the entrance, fury radiating off him. As he approached the arena, his theme music hit, and the audience immediately felt the shift. The intensity of Roman's presence was like a wave crashing into the ring as he walked down the ramp, his expression unreadable but seething. Roman slowly entered the ring, keeping his eyes locked on Jey. He moved with an intimidating confidence, circling Jey like a predator sizing up his prey. Taking his own microphone, Roman finally broke the silence. "Jey," Roman's voice was calm but cold. "You don't get to make demands of the tribal chief. You don't get to lecture me about respect. I made you relevant. I made the bloodline what it is today. And you think you can just walk out?" Jey didn't back down. "What you made was a family that's afraid of you, but I'm not afraid anymore, Roman." For the first time, Roman's composure cracked. His brow furrowed, his lips tightening as he absorbed Jey's words. "You think you're brave now, huh? Because you stood up to me. Remember what happened the last time you tried to go against me?" "That was different," Jey shot back. "I was willing to sacrifice everything back then because I thought we were doing this for family. But now it's about you and your ego, Roman. And that's not the bloodline I'm fighting for." Roman's eyes darkened as he took a step closer to Jey, closing the gap between them until they were practically nose to nose. "I am the tribal chief," he snarled, his voice barely a whisper. "And I'll do whatever it takes to keep this family together, whether you like it or not." Jey smirked, defiant even in the face of Roman's wrath. "Keep it together," he scoffed. "You're tearing it apart with every command, every threat. But you know what, Roman? I'm done with the threats. This is your last warning. Respect us or lose us." The crowd erupted, their cheers drowning out the tension-filled silence between the two men. Roman looked visibly shaken, a flicker of doubt crossing his face. He was the tribal chief, but he had just been given an ultimatum by the one person he never expected it from. Roman's voice was low but chilling as he replied, "You think you can survive without the bloodline? Without me?" Jey held Roman's stare, his voice unwavering. "I'll survive just fine, Roman, because at the end of the day, I still have something you lost a long time ago. Respect for the people who stand with me." Roman's face contorted in anger, his hands twitching as if he were about to strike. But just as he raised his hand, Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa rushed into the ring. Standing between the two cousins, Heyman whispered urgently to Roman, trying to de-escalate the situation. "Roman, this isn't the way," Heyman pleaded. "Not here, not now." Jey, seeing the tension on Roman's face, delivered his final words. "The choice is yours, Roman. Respect us, or watch us walk out." With that, he dropped the microphone, giving Roman one last look before he turned his back and exited the ring. Roman stood in the center of the ring, visibly upset and unsure of his next move, watching as his cousin walked away without a second glance. For the first time, the tribal chief looked vulnerable. The arena echoed with Jey's final warning, a promise that the family's unity would shatter unless Roman changed his ways. As the camera zoomed in on Roman's face, the uncertainty was clear. Would he heed Jey's warning, or would his thirst for control cost him everything? Only time would tell.